Hello, and welcome to this week's Founder Diaries. This is going to be a little different than what we've done before. This is not your traditional lecture or lesson. We are going to be planning content today, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. This is how almost every single Friday looks for me. So I really just want this to be a very calm and cozy and relaxing way that we can plan content together, and I will walk you through my process. I do use my social media planner, my workhorse planner, but you can use whatever you want, whatever you have. And I have a little cup of lemon tea here. And like I said, I want this to be very cozy and calm and just an easy way that makes you feel like you want to create content, because obviously there's a lot of pressure that goes into creating content. So I want to avoid that. I want to take that weight off your shoulders, and let's get into it. Again, if you don't have this, it's totally fine. You can use whatever you have. This is how I content batch, and I want to take you through my whole process. So every single month I go through and I make sure that I set up my editorial calendar. This is what I use as kind of like my roadmap. This is the blueprint for what I will be posting every single week, every month. And the way that I'm able to dictate that is I have really strong content pillars, and also I look at my analytics. So let's say that I'm posting a productivity post and that's doing really well for me. I will start to integrate that into my content pillars. So I'm always kind of switching them around. I usually keep the same 3 content pillars, but sometimes I switch it up. So you're always allowed to. And then on the next side of the page is where I content brainstorm. So the first half of my morning, every single Friday morning, I will sit here with my tea or my coffee and I will do a full content brainstorm. And I'm just gonna do that with you right now. So I'm gonna walk you through kind of my thought process and show you guys some things. I already have some ideas in there that I want to be doing, which are micro influencers. I really want to talk about that. I want to talk about trending carousels, which I kind of already did last week, and then signature series. So I already have those kind of already in there, but let's get into more of the weeds of things. And I do use my computer simultaneously because sometimes I'll jot down notes, like if I'm on a walk and I have an idea for content, I'll just write it down in my notes app, and I'll show you how I use highlighters to color code everything, because yes, we are very type A over here. Let's get into this. So I already have micro influencers, trending carousels, and signature series. I also have been wanting to do a whole video on how to create a cult-like community. So I'm going to put that in there. Community building is so important. You are nothing without your community. And then I've been seeing this trend that I wrote down of how your pictures are Pinterest trained, but so many people don't know how to actually take photos that are like Pinterest or have that kind of Pinterest effect. So I was thinking of doing a content idea where it's like a tutorial of how to do that, not just like showing the photos that you already have that are like that, but actually doing a tutorial about it. So I'm gonna put that in here too. I really want to do, since we're kind of halfway through the year, I really wanted to do best Instagram launch strategies. So that'll be in there. Oh, I also have this idea to do, it's kind of goes hand in hand with signature series, but I wanted to kind of walk through the 4-quadrant system. And then I wanted to do a video on demographics versus psychographics, which are completely different things. A color analysis, that's what I was thinking. When you're building a brand, this is a fun fact, but when you're building your brand, the colors that you choose to have in your color palette really do make a difference and kind of exude a certain feeling to your audience. So that's something that I want to talk more about. One of the last ones are productivity tips. There was another one too that I wanted to talk about. See, I will just let myself brain dump. This is the whole point of doing a content brainstorm, is to just let yourself brain dump. I have now a laundry list of ideas, and what I do, because I'm psychotic, is I like to use my editorial calendar, and I will go in, I take 4 colors, and I will go in and color code everything. So, oops, I just got a bunch of, I don't know, leftover food on my planner, whatever. Okay, I will go in and color code. So social media related stuff will be in yellow. Productivity related stuff will be in pink. Trend related stuff will be in green. And then news and updates will be in blue. Love a color coding situation. And then I will go in and color code my content brainstorm so that I know how many ideas I have per content pillar. So let's start with social media. So social media, I have micro influencers. That's a social media related one. I have signature series, another social media one. Cult-like community, another social media one. And by the way, social media is obviously my content anchor. So the more I have of social media, the better. And then a best Instagram launch strategies. We've got demographic versus psychographics. And then I think that's it actually. Oh no, Instagram edits tutorial. Okay, so we've got a lot of social media related ones. Let's go to productivity. I usually aim for about 2 productivity related videos that I can film. So let's see if I have them in here. Looks like I only have 1. So this is why it's helpful for me to color code, because it really makes it clear of how many videos I have for each topic. And that way I'm not overflowing my content and overflowing my feed with content that I already have enough of. I really aim for a balance of all of the content pillars. That's what you should be aiming for as well. Okay, and then trend spotting. It seems like I have a few of these, so I think I should be good. I've got trending carousels, and then I've got Pinterest training, and then I've got color theory and analysis, and then I only have 1 news and updates video. Okay, so what I'm going to do is add just 1 more of each just so that I have them. So I'm going to do productive. I haven't done a work from home in a very long time. So I'm going to do work from home. And then I actually do have 2 news ones because 1 will be for Instagram and 1 will be for TikTok. So now I have them all color coded out. This is so important to me because I now know exactly what category each one falls into, which is amazing for me. Okay, so then I go to the next page, which was this week. So I have to go through this, but this is ultimately how it will look. And then I go to the second week, and this is where I have my content schedule. So I will just start to schedule everything out, make sure that it's all balanced, and I'll show you kind of what that looks like. So using my editorial calendar and my content brainstorm as a guide, I will go in and start to fill my content schedule out. And again, I do care about making sure that all of my content pillars are evenly reflected each week. I'm going to flip back and forth. So I'm going to do micro influencers on Monday. Pinterest trained. Fun fact, I used to have the best writing, the best handwriting in high school and even middle school, and I just lost it. I don't know where along the way that I lost it, but I lost it. It's so sad. Okay, and then I'm going to do productivity. Oh no, I want to do Instagram news. And I want to do a productivity. So like that made it so easy for me to just map out my week, because now I have 4 concepts for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday that are all different content pillars. And then Friday, I always take a break. Fridays are used for this purpose. I just sit here. I make sure that all of my content for the following week is planned out. So that's what I do. Take a break on Friday. And then Saturday, I usually take a break as well. I usually just love a 2-day break. Friday, I'm active on Instagram stories. Saturday, I'm not. Typically, I take the full day off. I love a 24-hour Instagram story reset, not only for me and my sanity, but just also for your analytics. You will get like a little mini boost in the back end of the algorithm. So highly recommend doing that. And then I want to do a productive work from home on Sunday. So that is all planned out, and then I'm going to use those same color coding techniques. My yellow, so that I know what it is. I've got my trend, Pinterest training. I've got news and updates. And then I've got productivity. Okay, so now that I have that done, the last step is to kind of dictate which platform I'm going to post it to. So I have in the calendar, I have this little section where it divvies out the platform, and I just circle which one so that I know that I'm cross-platform posting. I always recommend having a multi-platform presence. Everything that I post to Instagram I make sure that I also post it to Threads because why not? You never know who's going to show up from Threads or find you from Threads. It's so random. So you might as well do it. It takes 2 seconds. I always post everything to TikTok as well. So that will be that. And then also I post specific ones to YouTube Shorts. I find that things like tutorials or like shorter, under a minute long shorts do really well. So anything that I'm thinking is going to be a minute long, I do that for. And then I'm basically done with the content brainstorm section, my editorial calendar, my content schedule. And the only thing left to really do is start to kind of strategize my Instagram stories. So I usually follow a very similar theme, but this is your sign that your Instagram stories should absolutely have a strategy. Let me just take a little quick sip of tea. So what we're gonna do Monday is I always use Mondays on Instagram stories as an ask me anything, but it's more of like a how can I help you? So I do how. I just am personally someone who loves to start off the week just helping you guys as much as possible. I find that Mondays, you guys are filled with motivation. It's a new week, it's a fresh start. So I always try to use that to my advantage and to your advantage as well. And then Tuesday, I've been loving doing Trend Tuesday. And what I like to do is kind of do a balance of I give you guys some trends on Instagram stories, and then I also give my subscribers some more of the deeper details. So I'm loving that. I'm gonna do Trend Tuesday. And that also is perfect because on Tuesday, I will be doing a trending video. So it kind of goes hand in hand. And I love when my Instagram stories kind of tie into my content as a whole. And then Wednesday, I sometimes do desk tours or work from home days. So I'll be showing you kind of like a time-stamped day of my work day. Usually when I do these, people ask for links to the things that I use every single day, links to my pens, links to my planner, links to the things that I like am genuinely obsessed with. So I will kind of add in more casual affiliate links here. And then Thursdays, I love to do comfort creator analysis. And what I mean by that is I have you guys pick a comfort creator. And what I do is I analyze why that might be, why you guys might love their content, and how you can kind of emulate it in your content. Friday is an Ask Me Anything, but it's a personal edition. So I've been really trying because per your request, I know you guys want to see more lifestyle content. So per your request, I've been really trying to kind of integrate that, but I don't feel like it's the right thing to do to just start posting a bunch of lifestyle content. It's really not my goal, to be honest, but I always give you guys what you want. So that being said, it's important for me to listen to you guys and listen to what you guys are asking me for. So I use kind of my Fridays and my Sundays to do more of that like personal content. Especially Sundays, I've been really trying even more to show you guys like the meal prep that I do and like the things that I do to kind of set the tone for the week. So Fridays, I do a personal Q&A. Saturday, it's my 24-hour reset. Again, I do not post on Instagram stories or feed on Saturdays. And then Sundays, like I said, it'll be more of like a productivity breakdown. I don't know how long it's been. I think it's been about 20 minutes. That is how long it takes for me to plan my entire week. Like, my entire week is done. I now know exactly what I'm posting on both my feed and my Instagram stories. It's so clear cut. This is why I love this planner. Again, if you don't have this planner, it's okay. But after this, what I will do is, now that everything's planned out, all I really need to do is film everything. And again, I don't like to script everything out. None of this has been scripted out. This is just me talking to you guys because I truly believe that if you live and breathe what you are doing and what you are saying, you don't need to script that much out. However, there are points in time where I have to script some things out. Obviously, like if I'm talking about news and updates, like for example, when I talked about CapCut a few weeks ago and like the changes that have been made, I really need to understand the legalities of it. So I can't mess that up, you know? So that one's more of like a higher pressure one. But for the most part, I will set up my tripod literally right here. I'll put my ring light and I film. So that is kind of like a calm and cozy morning of just content planning and planning for your whole week. And that way you are not waking up feeling like every day is a fire drill when it comes to posting content, because if you are feeling like that, you should not be. So I'm really hoping that seeing it like this really helps you. But again, this is a little bit different than Founder Diaries. I'm just hoping that this kind of is something that you can watch and do your content with me so that it motivates you and inspires you and also kind of like soothes you in a way. Because I know, again, content creation is really overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. So I really want to be the voice to that and I want to help you. So if you guys like this video and you want to see more like this, I am more than happy to do this, every other week or even weekly if that is something that you guys love. Again, thank you for being here, and another Founder Diaries will be coming up next week. So you know where to find me.